this week, as promised, I watched Hocus Pocus for the first time.
Finally.
It's a bizarre movie.
Yeah, it really is like a crazy movie.
I didn't
and
know
for Disney too.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a Disney movie.
Yeah.
And there's some things in there that I don't think Disney should be showing.
No.
For it to be a children's movie. But we'll get into those certain scenes.
But the thing is now is that Disney too has movies more for adults now too.
Yeah,
so,
but now. This was filmed in 1993.
I know, but still, like maybe that's a revolution. Saying,
well,
like,
I mean,
there
are some like screwed up, mess up things that Disney did, like even Snow White. Like she's trying to kill Snow White to gain, to be young forever. So there's some screwed up things. I don't know, like those are things. I guess when you're little and you watch and you don't. Because they're just talking about it. You don't actually see anything. But this movie, they're actually showing you things.
Yeah.
So.
Live action.
Yeah.
Things.
So we're going to get right into it.
Yep.
This is just going to be a nice little recap. Well, probably like a long recap because there's a lot to talk about with this movie.
Yeah.
So we start out in 1693. And we meet the strangest name I have ever heard in a movie.
Yeah, seriously.
Thackery. It just sounds like
Thackery Beans.
It sounds like I'm lisping.
Yeah.
Just trying to say his name. Thackery. Why couldn't you have just gone with Zachary?
It's like what Sylvester the cat from Looney Tunes.
That's I don't understand why they didn't go with Zachary. I think that's an old name.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe Thackeray was a popular name back then. But was John not an option? Something nice and easy.
Blake.
Yeah. So.
Jamal.
Well,
Muhammad.
1693. That's probably popular then. But we find out. So he wakes up out of his slumber. We do see, I guess, Sarah Jessica Parker is like the witch running around in the background, through his window. So he all of a sudden wakes up out of the blue, and although it's day, I guess it's probably morning.
It looks very weird though, because it looks like sunset. But morning.
It looks like in the afternoon.
They probably shot at sunset.
Yeah, they just didn't really care.
Yeah.
It's light. Who cares where it's coming from?
Exactly.
So for some reason, he just knows that his sister's gone. His little sister, who's probably 7 years old. So he's like, and for some reason, he has this weird accent. He's like, Emily! Emily! And he just starts running, but doesn't put on any shoes or anything, and just starts running through a forest. Yeah. And with that, and the whole time I'm like, your feet have to be hurting you. You're running without shoes on.
No, we live in New Jersey, and growing up as kids, running around barefoot, okay, in the backyard, cool. Running through the parks that we had around our house.
No, you just don't do it. All the
awful.
Because it's Halloween, I think.
Yeah.
It's October 31st. So there's leaves everywhere and branches and stuff, and he's just running around.
Awful idea.
Like a hoodlum.
Awful idea.
And then he falls down pretty much a mountain.
Yeah.
He should be dead. Because he just falls down, and then he just gets, and it's a pretty far fall, and then he just gets up and dusts off himself, and then keeps going. And then there's Emily! Emily! Yeah, snaps his, cracks his bones and then keeps going. So then he finds the Sanderson sisters in their little cottage thing in the middle of the woods.
They're such an odd bunch. It is
It's
unreal.
very much like in Sleeping Beauty, the three witches. No, those are fairies, fairy godmothers. But they're the same thing, three
They all have their own theme, and they're all completely different.
Yeah.
But they come, as together, they're great.
So we meet Bette Midler. I don't know any of the sisters' names. I don't know. Did they ever even... They probably said them at some point.
Winnie, Sarah, and...
Oh, yeah, Winifred.
Mary.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah.
So, creative there. And then, what was the other one?
Mary.
That's the dog one.
Yeah.
We'll get into the dog one. So we meet Winifred, who is Bette Midler. And she's got some Queen Amidala lipstick going on. She only does
it's almost like the Red Queen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, she only does a centimeter in the middle of her lip straight down. And she also has a very interesting accent. And book!
Oh, it's a glorious morning.
And then,
Nixie's
sisters!
sick. Yeah.
Sisters!
Yeah.
And I don't know where that accent was
Oh
from.
my god.
And she's very extra. Like, you know,
Oh my God.
everything is just like the acting is
If
so
there's a
extra.
Disney character for you,
Yeah.
you are Winifred.
But everything is so extra. And it's very much like a Broadway type of acting.
Yeah,
for her.
really. Very.
But and they're all ugly. All of them are very ugly in this moment when Thackery first sees them. And he sees that they have Emily. She's in the cottage and she's like tied up and
but she's so calm.
Yeah, like she doesn't look distressed at all.
Hanging out, just like, all right, well, I guess it's happening.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
my
going
time.
to die. I had a nice life, a nice 7 years. So they're all hideous, and they figure out that I guess if they kill a child, then they can be young and beautiful forever.
Yeah, they suck the youth out of the younger, the better. I think the rule is, but well, that's what they say. In the movie. I don't practice witchcraft. I'm not saying that anything.
We don't know what to do in our spare time.
Exactly. So she's just floating around there, like, I mean, CGI in 1993 wasn't the greatest. So then she's just like glowing, and they put like a fan in front of her and just made her hair start waving back. Yeah. And they just like made it seem like she was just, but still completely calm. No, it's not like I'm glowing. I'm dying at this point.
Yeah.
Well,
she's just given up on life.
Yeah.
So she's like, well, this is happening.
Meanwhile, Thackery.
Yeah, stupid Thackery tries to save her and doesn't. And
overrated character.
Do they turn him into a cat first and then they suck out her life, or is it suck out her life then they?
No, they suck out her life because then after that she's still tied up and then she's
that's right. That's right. That's the disturbing part.
Yes.
So Thackery tries to save her and doesn't do anything. I mean, these are three really old ladies. I mean, he's a young, sprightly man, and he can't defeat them.
No,
and they're moving kind of slow.
Sister dies.
Yeah, he's probably like 16, and he does a terrible job of trying to save Emily. And so they turn him into a cat for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And like a black cat. And then they end up like getting all Harry Potter Dementor, like they turn into Dementors, and they start sucking out. They're just like breathing out her youth.
Yeah, and then when they were, someone made a joke. They were like saying that when they exhale, it's like the best hit of anything that they've ever had.
Oh, that's some good young
exactly.
child.
That's some yum.
So then all of a sudden they turn into these like, well, you can't even say it. They're like, oh, I'm beautiful. And I'm like, the only one who's pretty is Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah, really.
I mean, the other two just kind of like lose their acne for the most part, and their hair looks a little bit better.
The other one just kind of like loses part of the movement on the left side of her mouth.
Like what is with the stroke face?
Yeah.
Like what was the point of that? I didn't understand. Like I'm like, did she have a stroke while she was? But I think Sarah Jessica Parker definitely took some extra hits because she got like really pretty.
Yeah.
And then I mean, Bette Midler, you have magic. Fix your teeth. Her teeth were like so distracting to look at. She couldn't close her mouth because those two front teeth constantly stuck out. And I'm like, but you have magic. Why aren't you fixing your teeth?
There's got to be something in that spell book. Oh yeah, let's get into that. The most disgusting part of this movie is probably the eyeball that just tends to move around.
And it's
That's
a book.
in a book.
Their spell book is made out of human skin and then has a human eye that is like, it's got like its own, which again, once they brought that up, I'm like, ooh, Harry Potter stole from this.
It was given to them by the devil himself.
Yeah, so that was really gross. Like, so while all this is going on, Emily is just hunched over dead in her chair and like just in the scene the entire time. Yeah. And Thackeray's like, how dare you? And you just see this little dead girl sitting in the back of the chair. So they're like, well, the witches are like, we don't care, we're young. But then all of a sudden, like, they get all this, like, knocking on the, like, pounding on the door. And they're like, witches, we know you're in there, you're witches. And so the villagers, which is Thackeray's dad and Emily's dad, and they catch them, and next disturbing scene, they hang them. I mean, you only see their feet, but they're hanged in, like, the scene. And so you think the witches are dead because, they just hung them or hanged them, whatever the right word is. But then I got an issue because the dad is like, where is Thackery? Where is Emily? Well, I guess they must have found Emily because her body was just there. But he's like, where is Thackery? Now Thackery's a cat, and he goes. He's
literally chilling on a rock next to them, just like, hey guys, over here.
He's like he can talk, like he's a talking cat, and he goes up to his dad and just starts like, like cats, like they rub on your legs. Like, Thackery, say something. Like, hey dad, hey dad, I'm a cat.
Calm down.
Just don't freak out. But they turned me into a cat. He says nothing. So
also, I was thinking on this. What if he had to learn to talk? Because he had 300 years when it goes.
But didn't he, when they first turned him into a cat, didn't he say something to the witches?
I
don't remember, but I'm pretty sure he knew that he could talk.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know, but
we'll get back.
He could have said something. So, but
we'll answer that on the future podcast.
Yeah, we'll watch it again. So, and I don't want to skip. We went over Bet and Sarah Jessica Parker. The one sister. Is she part dog? Like, what is going on? They never described this.
I have a theory about this. Okay, so how about that Thackeray got turned into a cat? Mm-hmm. What if she was a dog that got turned into a human, and then...
That's the only thing that makes sense because she's growling and she's barking. She's like,
she's lost her like sniff when all Halloween.
Well, that's
kids
what
are going
like.
around.
They're like, sister, where are the children, sister? And she's like smelling for them like a bloodhound. Yeah. But then she has a bark like a terrier. I don't know what's going on there. She's like multiple dogs. And the Sarah Jessica Parker, I think, is my favorite out of the three sisters
because she's just spooky.
Yeah, she's just insane. But I like the insane. But they have their glow up, and then we go into 300 years into the future. Okay.
Still in the same town.
Yeah. So then we meet Max.
Dennison.
So Max moved. They lived in L.A., which then nobody knows L.A. They're like, "Oh, where are you from, new kid?" He's like, "L.A." And they look at him like, "Where is this?" And then he's like, Los Angeles? Like, how do you not know L.A.? This isn't like the 1800s. This is 1993.
They act like they've never heard of Los Angeles before.
So, but all the kids in this movie are dressed how all the kids are dressing now. They all, like, all these kids are like, "Ooh, it's so vintage. I'm going to wear, like, oversized crew neck sweaters." Yeah, they're all dressing the exact, like, you could watch it now. Kids could probably watch it now and be like, was this movie made this last fall?
Yeah.
Because they look exactly the same.
Oh my god. Let's get into the bullies who are like, they're in Salem.
Yeah.
Alright, so they're the most LA bullies that they could possibly be,
yeah.
too. The one literally has blonde surfer hair. Like, a leather jacket, and the other one, this is ice. He turns around, he has ice.
Yeah, cut
like,
into the back of his head.
Cut into the back of his head.
I'm telling you.
They're the most LA bully that you can possibly get.
They're dressed like kids dress now.
Exactly.
So we meet Max, and then Max is in, so we're in class with them, and Max is like real ballsy and just gets up and like asks, what was even the girl's name?
Allison?
Probably a white girl name.
Yeah, Allison.
So,
Allison.
Yeah, so he just, like, gets up and he's like, here's my number, in front of the whole class, and gives her number. And she looks like she's interested. But then, like, the next scene, she's like, ooh, here. And she gives him a piece of paper. You think it's her number, but it's actually she's just giving him back his number. And I'm like, yep, burned you, Max. Oof. So then Max just casually riding through a cemetery to get home, or so, like, you couldn't go around the cemetery, Max.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe it's Salem. There's probably cemeteries.
But that's
all
when he
over.
bumps into the bullies, and they're casually hanging out in a cemetery too.
They're just like sitting on headstones.
Yep, like this is the normal thing to do in Salem.
Yeah, you kids are weird. So so then they go. So Max is like the most dramatic kid in the entire world because now it's Halloween night. And they have to go. His little sister's like probably like 8, I think they say she is.
Yeah.
Little Thora Birch. That's how. I don't remember her name either. We'll just call
Danny.
her. All right, Danny. But it's little Thora Birch, and she really wants to go trick or treating. Now she's like the coolest character in the movie. Besides the way I really like the witches.
An awful lot of sass.
Yeah.
For a little kid.
But she like was the only one that had common sense. So Max throws this temper tantrum because he's like, I'm not going trick-or-treating. And, like, all you gotta do, kid, is walk your sister around for, like, an hour. That's it, kid. Like, stop freaking out. So he's like, I hate it here. I want to go back home.
Yeah.
You're dramatic. So
Let's go back to L.A. Like, seriously?
Yeah.
Come on.
So you're here now, child. So they go trick-or-treating, and they just magically stumble upon Allison's house, who is throwing some masquerade ball. They're like, oh, welcome to the party.
Probably the weirdest party.
Yeah, it's a masquerade ball. It's not a party. Like, there's like
people are literally walking around with white wigs.
Yeah.
Like, if I walked into that, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So they walk in, and the sass from little Thora Birch.
Again.
Yeah, and she's like calling out Max's virginity and all these things. Like, first of all, you know too much about your brother's life.
Exactly.
And to be 8 years old. But she's just like calling things out in front of his crush.
Throughout the entire movie is his virginity.
Yeah, they're just like burning him constantly. So
taking away his masculinity throughout his entire movie.
So they don't care, and he's just like, well, I guess it's true, so I can't say anything about it.
Exactly.
So for whatever, is it Max's idea because he wants to impress Allison? They're like, let's go to the witch's house.
Yeah.
So and
this is what happens when you take away someone's masculinity. You gotta prove it, and then you pull some stupid ass shit, and you light a candle you're not supposed to light.
Yeah. So they find out when they were in the classroom, they found out that the witch's house was turned into a museum, but then all this like weird stuff was going on, obviously, and so they shut it down. So now it's just this abandoned museum. So they go to it, they're like, let's be the cool kids. So they go to it, and they break in, and Allison actually knows like a lot about the witches and stuff. So she knows like you don't mess around with this stuff. But Max is like, he finds this candle, and it's like, it's a black flame candle, and he's like, if it says in the book, which their books look like Mom's version, like her text, like it's like giant font.
Yes.
But I guess when you're 300 years old, your eyes are probably pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, Max finds, which, if they know, now there's these books that say, don't light the candles, because that's how the witches come back.
Yep.
Why would you sell lighters in the gift shop?
Dumbasses.
Because Max goes and takes a lighter, and he loves his little Zippo lighter. And throughout the entire movie, he's constantly, he's like
so extra. Yeah,
like
with it.
He's constantly, and it's not just like flip it open and like, and the flame comes out. He like pulls it out like a sword, and then he like slams it on his leg to make the flame. So he lights the candle, and then of course like there's a shift in the mood, and they know that like you done messed up.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, so and then of course little Thora Birch is like, Max, you idiot, what have you done?
Exactly.
And then the witches.
The floor starts glowing green. Yeah, and then like weird
There's, like,
shit.
Smoke
really
everywhere.
Just happens.
Yeah, like a storm.
If that was me, I'm getting out of there as soon as he's lighting that goddamn candle.
Because then little Thora Birch is like, Max, let's go, let's get out of here. Yeah. And Max is like, wait, and he's just like staring at what's going on. I'm like, run, you idiot.
Dumbass.
I mean, you should be like, bye. So the witches show up, and of course they're like, oh, child, let's kill this child. So they get away, the three current day kids, they get away, but Max goes and steals the creepy book. Yeah. So now the witches are like, well, we really want to get this book back because it's their spell book. Yeah, because they don't really know it's like a recipe book. So then the whole rest of the movie turns into let's get like chasing the kids to
it's pretty much the entire movie is
but then Thackery did Thackery showed up. Cat Thackery showed up.
The different kind of Thackery, who was played by a different Thackery.
Yeah. So but like Thackery, you were there for 300 years. Now, the witches were, like, dormant for 300 years. Thackery was walking around. Why wouldn't you get rid of the stuff, Thackery?
Yeah.
I know you don't have thumbs.
You're a cat, but cats do some crazy shit when it's nighttime.
Yeah.
I'm sure you weren't in there not just chilling. You were running around at 3 a.m. making noise.
But
You're probably knocking shit over.
Thackery was guarding the candle for the last 300 years on Halloween night because he knew, like, you don't bring back the witches. So he's been guarding this candle. why wouldn't you get rid of the lighters, Thackery? Or maybe destroy the candle. No, he just left everything the way that it was supposed to be.
No, it's pretty nice in here, actually.
So Thackery is useless. So, then, so the rest of the movie is just then the witches chasing them. Somehow the witches, like, I did love though, like they get out on they see the road and they've never seen like asphalt before.
Yeah, so they tap on it like it's ice.
And they throw Sarah Jessica Parker into it. And she's like,
she just screams.
Yeah. And then she's like, oh, it is made of thy stone.
Yeah.
But then I think they see a fire truck and they start screaming and they run away. Because they've never seen that before. So they somehow make their way. They get on a bus. And
they make their way into town, and when they get into town, it's just trick-or-treaters.
Yeah,
everywhere.
But then they kind of look like they belong because they're dressed up as witches, but they look like they belong because it's Halloween night. So, but like again, if you need children, why not take one of those kids? I know like the other ones had their book, but you're going after some sassy ones that have some fight in them. Go get one of the other children who are running
really
around
easy that don't even know.
Yeah. So they somehow make their way into Gary Marshall and Penny Marshall's house. I don't remember their names, but they're Gary
dressed
Marshall
as the
and Penny
devil,
Marshall.
and they think that the devil is married to Medusa.
Yeah.
But she's just got curlers in her hair.
Yeah.
And on Gary Marshall, they think they're calling me master.
Yeah. But the wife is having none of it, so like she goes upstairs and the witches just start running around the house like toddlers. Yeah. But then the dog sister, she somehow knows like
oh my god, when she's watching TV
and she's barking at the TV.
She starts squealing because there's a chase or something.
She's like barking at the TV. Like they didn't know what a bus was, but she somehow knows how to turn on a TV. And then she starts barking and growling at the TV. And I'm like, okay.
And then Sarah Jessica Parker is dancing with
Gary Marshall
in the dark.
Yeah, and then Penny Marshall comes down and is like, okay, enough, get out of here.
Yeah.
So they get kicked out of that house. And what a strange scene that was. And then they find out, I think it's the dog sister. She smells the kids in the book. And so they go to, they make their way into the school where there's like this Halloween party going on where all the adults are at. And because they're just, all the adults in the entire town are all gathered.
All the adults just said like, all right, fuck my kids. I'm going out tonight. It's Halloween.
Yeah, and they're all dressed, like, really inappropriately to be parents. Like, the little Thora Birch is dressed more appropriately than her mother, who's just like Madonna with the cone bra. But, I mean,
like shit.
The Bet and the two sisters, they get up on the stage, and, which I think, out of all the things that the witches can do, being able to hear a little bit of a song and then be able to instantly know how the entire song goes with
and
choreography.
Even add in
and her own thing. That's probably the most magical thing that she can do.
Probably. But also, the parents don't believe, no one believes Max, Allison, and Danny when they try to say, the witches are after them.
Yeah, because they're like...
They get up on stage and they try to say, like, no, look, they're right there.
Yeah.
And they just kind of say,
again,
like...
they fit in with... And they're adults at this... Now they're with all the other adults.
Exactly. So, and then that's when Bet gets into her little jam and starts kind of playing it off like it's like a flash mob or something.
So this is the only part that I knew before. Like, I think everyone knows I put a spell on you.
Yeah.
And this was the only part that I knew before going into watching the movie. Which, I mean, it's Bette Midler. You have to have some sort of musical part in the movie. But it's a legit jam. I really liked the song. I really liked it. And then the sisters are in the back and they got choreography going along and like they're little backup singers and I really liked it. So this song, every time they sing, it's putting a spell on all the parents.
Yep.
And of course, Thora Birch is like, don't listen to them, guys. She's putting a spell on you.
Yep.
And all the parents are like, this is a great song.
This is the greatest thing
I
ever.
love this song.
And then she puts the spell that they have to dance until they die.
Yeah.
Literally. Like Disney. Dark as shit.
Yeah.
Going dark again.
Then the kids run out of the room because they realize the parents are useless. So the kids run out and the witches chase them. And they somehow go into like this art room, I guess, in the high
they
school.
go to
There's
the
all
high
these
school.
giant statues around.
And the witches call it's a prison for kids. And
Oh,
everything
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But they walk in and, Allison has they follow them down an alleyway. And they get them cornered in there, and they hide behind like an old dumpster and then like an old stove. And then they leave, and they say like, no, let's move on. And Allison pops out from behind the stove, and it drops down. She just goes, oh, I have an idea.
Yeah.
And then, oh, let's go to the school.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so they follow him to the school. They get inside the school, and Max, for some reason, is just on the microphone, just being as corny as he possibly can be. It is, like, cringing, like, that part. Where he's like, welcome to the high school of hell. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is so
Max,
awful.
Couldn't you just jump on? And he was like, this is my moment.
Oh, get your virgin ass off the microphone.
Like, still trying to impress Allison. I'm like, man, just, it's not working. That's not the way to do it.
I'm getting friend zone, bro.
Yeah.
At the end of this.
Yeah. I hope he did. So they lead into, like, this art room where there's these giant, like, Greek statues all around. And there's this giant furnace thing. And they somehow trick the witches into going into it. And then they turn it on. So the witches are being burned alive. And all the kids are just looking in the little, like, porthole. And they're just like, ha ha ha.
They're just, like, making sure you're good.
Yeah.
Just making sure you're out.
They're all just laughing.
Yeah.
And, like, even the little Thora Birch is, like, looking in, smiling. Like, yes, they're burning alive. This is great.
It's fantastic. And then they leave. And then they're running in, like, the high school, like, yards. Just kind of like, yeah, this is great. Whoa, they're burned alive!
So Max is like, because Thackery's with them the whole time, useless Thackery.
Yeah.
And he's
Thackery gets hit by a bus and he just goes like, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, and he just like puffs up again and keeps going.
Just like he blew up holding his thumb in his mouth.
Yeah. So they think they think now that the witches are dead, and they're like, Thackery, isn't it great? You know, but...
Wait, we never got into Billy the Zombie.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Billy the Zombie is such an odd and such a complex, weird character.
Yeah.
Just because every single time, like, he's trying to just grab them. Like, why are you trying to grab them? You could have just went somewhere and just grabbed a knife and opened up your mouth. Because at the end of the movie, that's what he does.
Yeah, Billy's so weird. I liked him. Like, he's a cute character, but there's really no use for him. I mean, like, so the witches, they wake him up. And to help them, like, they'll catch him. And he's really bad at trying to catch them. And
he is an awful person at trying to go. Like, why would you send a zombie who can't pretty much use any of their limbs?
Yeah,
be like,
his head
go
gets
get that
knocked
guy.
off. Yeah, his head literally gets knocked off if, like, you poke it. And so
his fingers get crushed by the manhole in the bus.
Yeah.
The witches are riding on. Oh, my God.
Literally so weird. So they think that they're all celebrating because they think that the witches are dead, which they should have known because I think Thackery knows once the witches die, then he's free. Then his, like, soul is free, but he's still alive. So Thackery is, like, still going. And so then all of a sudden, sure enough, I think, or is it, did the witches come and almost get them again?
And the witches come and almost get them again, and probably, like, one of the most, like, I don't know, cool scenes of the movie, because they come in to Max and Danny's house, and Max thinks he's gonna be getting it on with Allison because they cuddle up.
So weird.
Oh my God! All right,
but yeah, what an odd scene. It's not odd. Like, they just decided, like, we're gonna go to sleep now, and for whatever reason, they go with each other, and then little Thora Birch is just, like, sitting next to them the whole time.
Yeah, she's just cuddled up with, like, Binks, just like, oh, hey guys, come across the thing.
It's so weird.
And you know what? I'll also talk about a very creepy scene is because they go to sleep and everything, but the Sanderson sisters are not done yet.
No.
So they come back and they're after the book, and the kids open up the book because they're like, oh, maybe we could get Binks to be human again. Let's get him, back out of his cat form. Mm-hmm. So they open up the book, but when they open up the book, they can't see it, but the witches can. It's a beam of light, and it's like a beacon that goes off. And the Sanderson sisters think they're done for. They're going to die. And then Winnie is like, goodbye, cruel world.
That was on my bed. She's like, I'm dead. I'm going
doomed.
to die. Yeah, I'm doomed.
So she goes, good. Oh, Maddie, come bring me to the window. I just want to say one last goodbye. And she goes to the window, and she goes, and she's about to say goodbye to her crew of the world.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, she looks up, and she sees the beacon. And she goes, the children, they've opened up the book. So they get together, and so they don't have their broomsticks anymore. They got stolen by trick-or-treaters.
That's what I didn't see. I think I looked away when Bette Midler takes off, and then I see Sarah Jessica Parker comes out, and I'm like, is she on a broom?
No, she's on a mop.
Yeah, I was like, is she on a mop?
Yeah.
But I couldn't really see, and then all of a sudden the dog one comes out, and she's got a vacuum, and I was like, oh, okay, so that was a mop. She just comes out, and
she's like, we need...
with her crooked lip, her stroke mouth.
So they all come out, and they head over to Max's house, and on the way, no, not yet. So, on the way, they go in, and it's actually kind of a creepy scene. So, Allison and Max wake up, and they're walking downstairs because he's walking her out, and they're going to say goodbye and everything, because they think everything's done. So, they're walking downstairs, and then they show, like, one of the bedroom doors, and it just kind of creeps open. I'm like, oh, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
That's really creepy. So they get in, they go back upstairs, and
they crash through the ceiling, don't they?
They go back, or Max and Allison go back upstairs, because I think Danny screams or something like that.
Yeah.
They run back up, the witches are there, and then they steal the book back, and it's probably one of the coolest scenes, because the entire side of the house just, like, explodes.
Yeah.
And they shoot out at, like, 120 miles an hour.
Now you got the book. Stop going after these sassy children. Go get one of the other ones that are still running around. Because now, like, they have the book.
No, but that's when Sarah Jessica Parker sings probably, like, one of the
creepiest songs. So, I was having...
Like, the children.
She's like, come, little children.
Oh, my God. It is
creepy.
Awful.
I had flashbacks of, like, in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, when the child catcher was singing the song trying to catch the children. Like, I was having flashbacks.
Oh, my God. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I was having flashbacks. I thought that was the creepiest thing.
And then all of the kids start walking towards... So now, not only are you going to you're trying to get just the sassy kid, you've already got kids headed to your house.
Yeah.
Why do you still need them?
Yeah, that's why, like, you're getting the kids that want to fight back. Like, you could get ones that don't know that you're a witch and, like, lure them in. But let's get the ones that are fighting back.
Plot holes on top of plot holes.
Yeah. So then they make their way into a cemetery, and Billy, they find out, is actually helping them. So which is the grossest thing of the whole movie. He cuts open his mouth, and then moths fly out.
Can you imagine that, like, fluttering?
No.
It's like,
the grossest scene. That really grossed me out. But they find out that he's actually nice, and
again, could have went and got a knife anywhere.
Yeah,
possibly.
At any time.
And cut open your mouth and said, you know what? No, I'm an independent man, and I don't need to do that.
That's probably, like, some old thread. He probably could have just, like, pulled it. I mean...
Yeah, really.
It's probably, like, really old thread. So,
Seems
but he
pretty
doesn't.
Dusty in there. If you got malts inside you, I'm probably certain you pull that thread out.
So, they go back to the cemetery, and, Billy knows that the witches can't step foot because it's, like, sacred ground.
It's hollow ground.
Yeah, so the witches can't step foot on the graveyard. So they put little Thora Birch in a grave to protect her because the witches want her. So they put her in the grave.
Which is another really disturbing thing.
Yeah.
This little girl is going to she's going to be in a straitjacket by the time she's 18.
So they put her in a really old grave. And they just, like, make her sit in there.
Here,
and then,
hang here for a second while people are trying to kill you.
What was the point of them putting salt around her?
Well, like, the witches can't go inside a salt circle or something.
Yeah, but they couldn't touch the ground anyway. So what was the point of the salt?
Yeah, it makes no sense. Oh, yeah. And then Allison is just there like, shh, I'm saving myself. Fuck all of you. I'm using all of the salt right now.
Because then she has no more.
She runs out, and then she just kind of like is like, oh, okay, well, this is
I forgot that part.
Oh, my God, you selfish bitch.
So then the witches show up. They have zapping powers. I don't know why they're trying to swoop in and pick them up. Just zap them and then pick them up.
Yeah, just like zap, zap, zap. Yeah. That kid's mine.
Yeah, like I don't. And then I get to the point where I was like, why is Billy even there at this point?
Useless.
Like,
useless character.
I mean, he's really great. He's nice, and you feel bad for him. But I don't know why they even introduced Billy. And then so like.
And he's like, go back to hell.
Yeah.
He's like.
But then again, she just like kicks his head off, and then his body is searching for his head.
And that's where Danny, of course, all right.
Of course, she picks it up.
Danny, you gotta be thinking about yourself right now.
But she gets out of the grave to go help pick up Billy's head.
A dead guy.
Yeah.
You're trying to sell yourself.
More issues.
Who is alive.
More issues Danny's gonna have because she's picking up.
Can you imagine picking up that head and just be like, "Hey, thanks."
Yeah, and his hair is really gross. Like that would be my biggest issue. So Bet, of course, swoops in and picks up Thora. But then Thackery finally does something right. And knocks. So she goes to... Bette Midler tries to get Thora Birch to drink the potion.
Yeah.
And Thackery finally comes out of the nowhere and knocks the potion out of her hand.
Jumps off of like a tree, does his cat-like thing.
Yeah,
and,
so he knocks
her.
He knocks the potion out of her hand, and then Max catches it. And Max is like, drop her. And she's like, no, or I'll drop the potion if you have to give her back. And Bette Midler's like, I'll kill her. And so Max knows the only way to like end this is if he drinks the potion. Finally, he does something right. So he drinks the potion, forcing her to take Max.
Yep.
But as soon as like so she does pick up Max, and then they're fighting in the air.
Yeah.
And then but then the sun comes up. And that means that then they lose like all their powers or something.
Yeah.
If the sun comes up. So then they fall out of the sky, and then the witches just turn to dust, don't they?
No, so what happens is that Max is getting ripped up in the air and everything, and then she's sucking the life out of him and everything, but then she realizes that it's too late. She sees that the sun's coming up, so she goes and turns to a statue.
Uh-huh.
So she goes and like freezes up. The statue looks nothing like her at all.
Oh, yeah, it looks like Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, really. So then they just kind of like, in the sky, they just kind of accepted that they're going to die. And the one's just like, wee! And it just goes, it just poofs like red. And then Sarah Jessica Parker just goes, Winnie, goodbye. And then like a little poof of like, green or whatever color she was. And then for some reason, they couldn't turn to statues.
No, don't know why.
Yeah, so they just couldn't leave that in, so they were just like, all right, just make her explode.
Yeah.
And everybody turns to glitter, and then this is where it probably gets kind of creepy, because Thackery is like a dead cat. We watch him die, and then you're just watching Danny, Thora Birch, just like trying to pick up the cat. Just be like, no.
A very Simba Mufasa moment going on.
Very, very
like,
sad.
Please wake up. Please wake up. But we find out because the witches died, Thackeray's soul is finally free. Yeah. So then we have a Casper moment, and Thackeray shows up in ghost form.
It is probably It's
a very weird scene.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I will always be with you, with his weird accent.
Emily. Oh, it's Emily.
Yeah, and then Emily shows up. She's like, Thackery.
Thackery, bitch. Yeah. Like, because there's many Thackerys now. There's many Thackerys. So now we have to make sure that you're getting the last name in there, just because there are like 20 other Thackerys from your village.
Yeah, and he's like, Emily.
It's Emily.
And he's like, goodbye, Danny. I will always be with you. And then he just leaves. And then that's it. And then it just ends. Very abrupt. That whole scene is like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's very abrupt, and it just ends.
The last probably 20 minutes that we've been talking about when they get into the graveyard after Sarah Jessica Parker sings her creepy children's song and everything is probably a sequence of about like 5 minutes.
That's it. Yeah. It's very quick.
Really, really quick.
Yeah. It's just a very abrupt ending. So then the credits are rolling, and you see all the parents.
Oh,
are
and
okay.
They're always constantly talking about Max and his being a virgin. Right at the end of the movie, Emily's like, Emily is like, oh, what took you so long?
Emily
and he was
like,
burn. Thackery was like, oh, I was just waiting for this virgin to light a candle. And then it shows Max, and he's just smiling like, yeah, I know, thanks.
For the 10th time. Like, everybody knows.
Well, like, every 10 minutes of that movie, they're like, Max a virgin.
Yeah. So then we see all the parents are okay. They're all leaving, and they have no idea what just happened.
Oh, they walk out like they just come from the most lit party ever.
Yeah, they have no idea what happened with their poor children. This poor little Thora Birch is going to need some serious therapy after
counseling
this.
For a long
And then at the very, very end of all the credits, we see the book, the creepy book again, and it opens its eye, which I guess is alluding to that the sisters are, sister, just from what we think is that the other two are dead. That Bette Midler, why would you turn her into a statue if you're not going to bring her back? Yeah. But then we did just find out that there is a remake coming. Well, not even a sequel, but it's not a sequel.
There should be a sequel. If you're going to end it like that, where the book opens back up, like, okay, you should do that. Even the Iron Giant. This is another 90s movie that really kind of irritated me right at the end, because the Iron Giant, he comes back with all of his pieces in the middle of Iceland, and you're like, and he opens up his eyes, and he gets up, and you're like, oh my god, there's going to be a sequel. Never made a sequel. What are you doing? Make it!
I have no problems with sequels, because you're just continuing stories.
If I'm a fan of the one movie, and you're going to make a duel or a trilogy out of it, by all means, go and do it, because I want more of it.
Yeah, if you're like a fan of it, what's better than continuing the story? But they're remaking it but it's just gonna be for Disney Channel, so I'm sure it's gonna be shit. Because
oh my god,
if it's just gonna be a TV thing, that's not good news. So if you really like this movie, I would probably advise you just stay far.
There
far
should
away.
be like what are they? Like a survey where people can like sign and say, or like a petition that we want an actual sequel with the actual real people. Well, and maybe it's about like not Thackery. Maybe it's about Max and Allison's like kids or something.
Well, they did ask. No, I don't think anything's going on there. With as much as they burned Max, I don't think, because like again, why introduce these two characters? They never kiss in the entire they never. Sure. There's not anything there besides that weird, creepy cuddling moment. And then because
the return of Billy, the most useless character.
Yeah, let's give Billy his own spinoff. But they did ask Sarah Jessica Parker, I think on Andy Cohen's show, about a sequel, and she's like, we'd love to do it, and we really had fun making it, and who knows? So they're all kind of getting old, so I don't know if they do it. Yeah. But they are supposed to look old.
Well, I just saw. But I was home for lunch, and the TV was on, and it was just like what was on from the morning. And they had Whoopi Goldberg singing with like her Sister Act crew, and the nun from
Sister Act, is the dog. Yeah, the dog's sister.
Exactly, and like perfectly fine. She was singing and everything and doing her thing, so I'm sure she would probably be up for it. And Bette Midler, I'm positive she would be down to do a sequel.
Oh yeah, I think so. But and. So, I don't know, but what a very bizarre movie. I can't say that, which I know, like don't come at me. I don't know if I really, liked it. But I don't like Halloween.
You're crazy. Halloween is so cool.
No, I hate Halloween. I don't like scary movies, and I think I associate Halloween just with that. They're all over. I don't like it. I don't like costumes and stuff, really. So, I don't know. It's, it was
It seems to be simplistic costumes are the more...
I don't know, but I think a lot of this movie is nostalgia. Like people watched it when they were young, especially our generation, because it came out when all of us were kids. Yeah, I mean, I was 3 when this movie came out, so I definitely didn't watch it when it first came out.
No, but growing up watching Disney Channel and they would play that.
I never watched it. I am more of a Halloween Town kind of person. I do really like all the Halloween Towns. But I don't know why I never saw this movie. I just never watched it. I don't know. Maybe it just didn't interest me because I was never really crazy about Halloween.
Well, I don't know. I liked Halloween just because I think candy.
Like if people are like, how could you not like Hocus Pocus? And I'm like, but I think if you did just watch it as an adult, maybe you see it, because this was my first time watching it. Maybe you see it for as the insane movie that is. I didn't hate it. It's just kind of there. Like it's just I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. I liked it. I didn't love it. I didn't like.
What would you like better, Nightmare Before Christmas or Hocus Pocus?
Because again, Nightmare Before Christmas I never saw until like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I did really like Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah. I did definitely like that one. But again, I've only seen that one like once or twice since.
We should have done that one too.
Yeah, we can.
Again. Maybe.
Well, technically, like, is that a Halloween movie or is that a Christmas movie? Because they don't play that one on ABC Family or Freeform, whatever it's called now. Are they playing it right now?
Yeah, they play it both times.
Yeah, because I guess it kind of goes. Christmas. Yeah, it kind of goes. It can work for both. But
or you can catch it on Netflix because I know it's on there too.
Yeah, that's how I watched it a couple years ago. So I hope you liked our review. If you did, then we still only have 3 reviews. So I'm gonna start calling people out soon. If I know because I know the people who gave us a review, and I know the ones who didn't. So I'm gonna start calling you people out if you don't give me a good review. 5 stars. I want nothing short of 5-star review.
You heard.
Okay, so check our Instagram and our Twitter. Next week we have. I'm actually not exactly. There could be 2 different things that we may do next week. If you want to know, have a little sneak peek. I've been putting them on our Instagram and our Twitter, so you know where to follow us. Instagram is PorkRoll.Vs .TaylorHam, and the Twitter is PRVsTH. So if you want a little sneak peek, so then you can get yourself ready. I'm putting them on there. The last couple of weeks I've been putting them on there. I think people like having a little sneak peek.
Yeah, why not?
I hope you have a wonderful week and good